going on, y'all? Chilling? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are having an amazing day. So today's episode, we're going to fool around with the brake booster and the clutch master. So yesterday, my son helped me bead roll the inner fender. I still got to work on it. But before I really get too involved in installing them, I need to install the clutch master and get all the pedals configured, the linkages to the booster, because we're not using a booster from a Samurai, we're using a booster from an S10. We're using a clutch master out of a Toyota. So basically everything has to get reconfigured, the entire pedal assembly. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get it. Boom. Yeah, so yesterday my son and I rolled this for the inner. With the fenders on, it looks really well. Goes really well, I should say. The fender comes about down through here, follows that line, so the patterns kind of roll nicely with it. So I'm very limited the amount of space that I have to work with. So I wanted to just keep things simple, not get too crazy. And that's what I've come up with yesterday. So anyway, let's get started on this booster. I had re-drilled for the S10 to fit. She fits in here now. But before I go and do that, I want to get the pedals inside there. I'm going to pull the steering column out. And I need to eyeball approximately where the clutch master has to come through. So once I get the clutch master in a location, then I can start configuring my pedals. I'm also going to configure the height of my pedals too now. So once I get the clutch master in there, I can configure basically everything. The height of the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, the throttle pedal, and stuff. So it's going to take a little bit of finagling, but I'm going to work on it now. Let's get it. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is I want to flip the camera around, show you in pieces how we're going to assemble this to get the linkage from the Samurai to mate up to the S10. There's my pedal assembly for the Samurai. You can see the original mounting holes. This is the Samurai master and booster. And you can see the studs stick out to bolt and hold the pedals on. So what we're going to do is, we found center. We're going to drill center using a 2.5 inch hole saw, like so. Once we got our hole drilled, we're going to mark our studs. Boop, 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 boop. Transfer them onto our plate. Once our plate has our holes, then we're going to take our clutch assembly, sit it like so. We're going to weld this up, trim the excess off, and then this will be able to bolt to this, and now it'll be nice and strong. Now that we've got our hole cut out, I flipped this on top of our booster, sprayed our bolt pattern, and we're going to transfer holes into them now. And there we have it. There's our template. Okay, got to do a little trimming on the bracket, which I kind of figured. She fits though, so trim it up. All right, now that we've got our template cut out, we got to place it on the brake pedal, transfer our holes, weld it up, and then we can bolt our foot pedal assembly up. All right, guys, so basically what we went ahead and did was, we know this is 2.5, right? Because we just drilled it with our hole saw. So we need to make sure this is center on here. So now I just ream this out to 2.5, right? You following? You buying what I'm selling? You selling what I'm buying? We know that the T equals top, okay? Boom. Now all we got to do is square it up, weld it up, and then transfer the holes that are on the 1/4-inch plate into our foot pedals, and we are ready to bolt it apart, bolt it up. I like it, I like it. Now you can see our holes that we need to transfer. Once these holes are transferred, then we can bolt it up like brand new. Boom. Tacks on it. Boom. So the wire I've got in my welder is 025. You can still weld thick steel with it. It just takes a little bit longer because there's thinner metal, obviously. All right, so we're gonna let this cool off and we're gonna fool around with the clutch master and get it ready to go, bro. Man, that weld looks good. One thing I forgot to mention, I don't know if you guys are aware of, Samurais do not use hydraulic clutches, they use cable-driven clutches. So basically what we need to do now is figure out where we're gonna put our clutch master, the height, and we're gonna need to draw an axis, not access, axis, where our pedal, when we push our clutch pedal down, that our rod, master rod, there's a lot of rods in here and axes and axes, our clutch rod, when it goes into the master, boop, like that, it doesn't bind up. So in other words, if you have the clutch master too high, you might not get the correct amount of throw for the travel. So when you push your clutch in, your rod may not go in far enough to push out enough fluid to, decompress your slave cylinder to disengage your clutch. Yes. So if you have it too low, what ends up happening is you throw off the axis. So when you push your clutch in, it binds the master rod either up or down. And that's what we need to determine. Enough to give us enough throw. So we're gonna measure the clutch master in a vise, measure how much travel it moves, and then that will tell us roundabout how much, where we need to put our clutch assembly. Ooh, that sun is bright. So sometimes, I suck at explaining things. I try my best to get it out to help you guys understand what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. Just for an example, you're gonna come across people in life that are like that. They've got amazing skills, but they're just terrible at explaining things. For example, I went through an accredited apprenticeship to become a journeyman lineman, and I worked with some really good guys, good hands, we call them in the field, and they just absolutely terrible with explaining how to do things. So my point I'm getting at is I do my best. Sometimes I stutter a little bit because it's a matter of transitioning my thoughts to words to help you guys better understand what exactly I'm doing. Alrighty, so I went ahead and bolted up our conversion brake pedal assembly. I like that word. We're gonna need to cut out about 3.5 inches or so out of our pedals. They obviously hit the floor because we raised the floor up. So that's what we're gonna work on right now. We'll grind it up, weld it up, make it looking nice and nice. I want to try and keep this bend. I can reshape this, I think, which I'm going to do anyway. So I'll heat this up, bend it. This one will work fine, like so. So yeah, I'm not worried about it being straight because I'm going to mess with it in just a minute. Working on this on the ground. I like it. Once I straighten this out, it's going to work good. All right, this is a Toyota Clutch Master. You can see we got about an inch of travel here. This is what I was explaining earlier. That's all the way in, and that's decompressed. Compressed, decompressed. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna figure out where we need to drill and mount. We'll measure this grommet up, and that's gonna be the hole, the size of the hole that we're gonna use in our hole saw to drill this through. So we got a little bump right here. I think if we drill through the center of this with a hole saw and mount this bad boy right here, then we could trim out our inner fender. Our lines are gonna clear, our tires should clear. Everything should clear because we're gonna end up sticking it in roughly 4 inches. So I think that's gonna work out okay. Worst case scenario, you cut a chunk of steel out of the firewall and you start from scratch. So, all right. So I got 2 hole saws here. I got 1 1/8 inches and I got 1 3/8 inches. Okay, 1 3/8 inches will slide over, but the problem is you know as well as I know, is when we ream this thing out, it's going to be too big. Always works out that way. So we've got 1 1/8 inches. I think would be perfect, because that rubber grommet should slide right over it and it'll fit in like butter. All right, so we got a 4th set of hand up here holding it up because we got to check something out inside, but we can see that our line is going to clear. That's perfect. So now you get the picture. This is what we're going to work on tomorrow. We got to extend off of here. So when we press our clutch in, it presses in, it makes our hydraulics work. It's going to be a little tricky, but I know we can do it. Okie dokie, artichoke. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take my wife to the beach. I think what that'll do is it'll allow me to think about before I go ahead and make some kind of foolish decision on how I want to make the linkage on the pedals. And also it'll give me some rest and relaxation time that's well needed. So till tomorrow, see you in the morning. What's going on, y'all? Good morning, I'm back at it again. Had some time to brainstorm on what I wanted to do. Here's what we got. Pedal height is perfect now, brake and clutch. So basically what I've done is I added about 4 3/4 inches of pipe onto the end of the clutch, and I'm going to put a lever to connect the linkage. So when I press the clutch, our slave cylinder will work. Also, what I'm thinking of doing is somehow putting a bracket off the end of this to support this. Ooh, it's hot. To support the, the weight of this So we'll see how that goes though. Yeah, baby! Wake everybody up. I don't give a shit. We did it, man. We did it. Holy cow. Every time I want to talk, I get a frog in my damn throat. We did it. There it is. So basically, obviously you can see what's popping here. There's our linkage for our clutch. It works great. I'm waiting for it to cool off, and I'm gonna bolt it in, test it out again. And okay, gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. Watch the rod on the clutch, how it almost binds up a little bit when I engage it. See how it's pushing the rod down? That's no good. No bueno. We need to move this up so it minimizes the angle of the bajangle, if you're buying what I'm selling. Almost there. Full pedal assembly. Next I gotta work on, I'm probably gonna have to shorten this up. Shorten this rod up, cut it, take a chunk out of it, weld it back up, and then I'll be all right to install that. I was thinking even using the old Samurai threading, the coupler, when I'll just have to cut some threads on here, metric threads, and spin it onto the shaft. So it would basically be a studded shaft. Now it's cooler out. It's the next day. These are the things that I'm talking about. Sometimes you got to just take a break, walk away from it, work on something else, think about it the entire day, and then make your plan of attack. And that's what I've come up with. So a little bit of tweaking, and she's gonna be money. Oh yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at that shit. Boom. That just happened. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box. How can I make this work? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Here we go. Watch our axis on our clutch master. Nice and straight. That's money. Money. We've got our GM brake booster cut down, threaded, M10 by 1.50. Boom. Huge. Huge. Dude, man. I love it. I absolutely love it when a plan comes together. This is a huge accomplishment. We've adapted Chevrolet brakes and a Toyota clutch master onto a Samurai. Huge accomplishment. Very proud of myself. Wait. I'm just teasing. No, I am very happy though. That was a huge challenge. Knocked off the board right there. Off to the next one. So I just need to tweak the firewall a little bit to get this to sit evenly. The sheet metal has some curves in it, so we just got to flatten it out with the hammer and dolly. So in a couple videos back, I had picked this up off the floor. I said, whoa, what is this? And I saved it. Good thing I saved it. This little bad boy goes inside there. Talk about being screwed. If I'd have not picked that up, oh boy, no good. Air it out, double check it one more time. Bam. Only thing I'm concerned with is my brake lines when I hook up my proportioning valve. So I'm gonna have to bend up some new ones and get that proportioning valve out of the way. Normally on a GM setup, the proportioning valve sits right about here, and that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to make some new lines, come around the back or something, and move it out of the way. Sir! So I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support. It means a lot to me. It really does. Some people say shit just to say shit, but I hope you guys realize by now that I'm not a person that says stuff just to say it to blow smoke up your ass. That's not me. You know, I'm very grateful for having this opportunity. You know, I'm not top-notch modifier. I'm not top-notch, car builder. I'm just an average guy doing average things. Well, maybe a little above average, but building things. Do me a favor. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. It would be a big help if you can share this with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. I don't even care. Give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Leave some sort of comment on there. Do me that favor. That's going to do it for today's video. I love you guys. I can't wait to do bigger and better things. I'm super excited. This is going to be a really fun series that we're going to do with multiple cars, multiple trucks, builds. And what I'd like to do is, after we finish this build, I'm going to reach out to everyone and you tell me what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a 4Runner, maybe it's a Pathfinder, maybe it's a Mazda, a B2000. Hell, maybe it's a car. That's how I'd like to grow my channel. I want you guys to tell me what y'all want me to build. So have a great day. We'll see you on the next one. And most of all, be kind to one another. Have a great day, guys.